Okay, so question 15, talking about a cross-section of a bowl, and it wants to know the depth of the bowl. Quite a confusing question to begin with, but once you work through it, the method's actually really easy, and it's quite an easy 4 marks when you know how to do it. So we're given the equation y equals x squared over 10 minus 3x, and we want to know the depth of this bowl. We want to know how far down the y-axis it goes. So I need to find out what this midpoint is here. If I ended up finding out how far along this goes, what its x-intercept is here, then I could just half it to find the middle value. So the way that I find out where the x-intercept is by setting this equation equal to 0 and ending up factorising it and solving it. At the moment, I don't like the fact that there's this x squared divided by 10. It doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to take 1/10 outside of everything. So I'm going to rearrange that to be y equals 1/10 x squared, but I need a tenth of some kind of x to equal 3x, so that has to be minus 30x, because when I do a tenth of 30, that gets me to my 3 in my x part there in the original equation. The next part, I want to find out where this crosses the x-axis. So that is when the value of y is 0. So I need to set that equation equal to 0. I'm going to set that equal to 0. Before I can end up solving this, inside this bracket I need to factorise it to be able to find my values for when it equals 0. So this is going to turn into a tenth, and then inside the bracket I can take x outside, and x times x gives me x squared, and x times minus 30 would give me my minus 30x, and that's equal to 0. Now, ignoring the 1/10 at the front, because that doesn't change anything at all, if I was just working with this x times x minus 30, then we could say that that's equal to 0, so x has to be 0, or x has to be 30. So once you've found that out, we now know that this part is 0, which we're kind of told already, and then the part where it crosses this axis here is 30. And then to find out the midway point here, that ends up being 15. So now I've got my x-coordinate of the minimum point there. So if my x-coordinate is 15, I can substitute it into this formula to find out what my y-coordinate would be. So let's do that now. So we've got y equals x squared over 10 minus 3x, and now we know that x is 15 for our minimum point of that curve. So if I substitute in, we've got 15 squared take away, or over 10 take away 3 times 15, and then working through that I end up with 225 over 10 take away 45, which then ends up being 22.5 take away 4.45, and then carrying on I would end up with minus 22.5. Your answer, however, is just 22.5, because if we were asked about the depth of a bowl, I wouldn't say to you the depth of a bowl is minus 22.5 centimetres. The depth is just going to be the 22.5 centimetres. So like I said at the start, once you work your way through, it's actually not too bad. You just need to end up factorising, finding your values for x when it's 0, work out what the midpoint was, and then substitute into your equation to find out your y values. And then that method would get you the full 4 marks there.